All right, guys. We ended up seeing, what did we see? Riddick.
Riddick!
We saw Riddick. I don't know. Chris, do you want to do the rundown for this one? Or do you think, since you don't know it that well, we'll give this
I
one
can
to
give you the
somebody else?
rundown for this movie. I can't give you the backstory into Riddick, the franchise, but I can tell you what happened in this movie.
Sure.
It essentially is Riddick was left on this planet. I don't know if they ever actually named the planet per se, but he's left on this planet and
It's called
is
Not Furia.
Yeah.
not Furia or Furio, whatever it was, and he is learning to survive on the island. However, it seems that there is something dangerous that happens upon this planet when it gets dark out, when it starts to rain. So he wants to get himself off the planet. The only way to do so is to activate a homing beacon that will bring bounty hunters coming to the island to collect to the planet to collect his bounty. And he then has to basically figure out a way to outsmart and get off the outsmart the mercenaries and get off the island. Yeah,
Get off the island. This thing is lost.
yeah.
Oh, God.
As a smoke monster, he flies around. He's pretty mean.
All
Polar
right.
bears.
Not far off.
This movie was dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have a question here.
Sure.
Okay, I have not seen the Riddick movies prior to this. I've never seen Pitch Black or anything like this. And the trailers made me think that this was going to be like a pretty serious kind of action movie, like not serious and like deep or anything like that, but that was going to be played straight. Is that how the other Riddick movies are?
All the other movies have entirely different tones from each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this one is very
Pitch Black
silly.
is a straight up almost horror movie,
Yeah.
Yep.
and the other one is more of a action sci-fi movie.
It's almost more like a straight-faced, like, adventure movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
But there's not much comedy in Chronicles of Riddick.
There's a little bit with Riddick's character. He's always cracked at people, but not to the extent in this movie.
Well, in this movie, the way I sort of explained it is it's kind of like a sci-fi channel movie, in like its awareness of like its cheesy lines and like the one-liners and set up for expectation. Like, come on, don't worry, don't be such a wuss. It's not like Riddick's right in front of us or anything like that. Slam, and then Riddick's right in front of
See,
him.
the
Like,
thing you have to understand, Chris, is that Vin Diesel loves this character to the point where what film was it he made? To get him back onto the Fast and Furious franchise, the studio sold him personally the rights to Riddick.
wow.
He's had a hand in writing this movie.
He was
And it
executive-
shows, because that sucks.
He is self-funded a good chunk of it. He wants to make Riddick
Yeah.
films. He loves the character.
He actually, like, I think, what did he do? Put, like, a mortgage on his house? to
Yeah,
do this?
he mortgaged his house to make this movie.
Yeah.
That's
Sad.
a little bit.
He just loves the character for some reason, but yeah.
It shows, because this movie is terrible in comparison. I'd rather watch Chronicles of Riddick than this. And Chronicles
Really?
of Riddick was terrible. Yes, I hate this movie.
Now, let's be perfectly fair. Let's be fair. Both Gav and Brandon say they like it, so I want to hear why the two of you
Yeah.
like it so much. And I'll start with Brandon here.
Because it's fun.
Okay.
It knows what it wants to be, and it is that movie.
But how
And it
can
has
be
fun with it.
when it's so boring?
I wasn't bored at all. throughout
I
this
was bored as
entire movie.
piss. The first hour of this thing is like, come on, something happen.
There's a lot of things happening.
Nothing happens.
all right,
it's so pointless that happens in the first hour.
It is worth noting that the trailers for this movie indicate a much different, because the trailers
lies. The
basically
trailers
show
lie.
what is the last 30% of the movie, where
Yes.
the monsters have actually come out. The star of the movie is Vin Diesel surviving on this planet.
It's
and
just
then-
him sleeping under rocks.
And then
Yeah.
the midpoint of it is the mercenaries come and he's fucking with them.
It's Riddick Grills for the first. This I have never seen. I mean, obviously, without going into spoilers, I have never seen a movie. I mean, as somebody who's tried to be a writer and all this sort of stuff and reviewer, I never really got the. I mean, I know films operate under acts, you know, the 3-act structure, but spotting them is kind of difficult with some films. This literally, there is a huge fucking cut. You can literally divide this film
It's
into 3
first
parts.
act and it's first act and third act. There's no second act in this movie.
No,
Well, the
it's like-
second
different
act,
looks.
yeah, the second act's when he fucking leaves. He takes his little dog and then goes
Yeah,
into
the second act is
Flowerland.
Riddick versus mercenaries. The third act is Riddick versus monsters.
Yeah.
I guess you can say that. Yeah.
But Gab, why did you like this movie?
Because look, there's a line right at the beginning. Well, it's in the trailers. Vin Diesel, it comes out with it himself. It's something like, don't know how many times I've been left alone. Blah blah blah. This ain't nothing new. And he was talking about the movie because this is nothing new. This is Pitch Black and Chronicle. This is basically Pitch Black with the character of Riddick from Chronicles.
This isn't Pitch Black.
Kinda.
They stole the premise of Pitch Black.
Yeah, this to
And-
me
but
is a much
failed
more
at-
natural. It's a much more natural sequel to Pitch Black than Chronicles was.
Yeah.
It's sort of weird because the trailer makes. I guess I can't get into this without getting the spoilers. So actually, never mind. I'll bring
But-
that up later.
For me, like, the acting wasn't there. This whole movie feels like it's just a jerk-off moment for Vin Diesel. It's just there to stroke his own ego. There
I
are
don't
just
think-
stupid-ass fucking scenes. I know this scene's in the trailer because Chris told me, but there's a part where he does that BMX jump off of he does that BMX stunt off of a over.
Yeah,
the monsters.
that was pointless.
I saw that, and I audibly just said, "Why? Why do we have this in this movie?" Like, I understand he's jumping over him, fine, but why
That was
does
a
he have to
shot.
do the BMX thing?
It was a trailer shot, pure and simple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why do they have to put scenes in a movie that have to be the trailer shot? I don't.
Because that's how Hollywood is nowadays. They're
It's
like,
just
hold on, we need this for the.
stupid.
This isn't going to make sense in the context of the movie, and God forbid we just make our movie exciting enough. The pieces from the trailer will be enough to sell, or pieces from the movie itself be
It looks like
enough
he's trying
sell
to
it.
relive Triple X when he did that.
Maybe he was.
I don't know.
I honestly think that rather than a bit of ego stroking, I think this is just him with the character he likes, and he just
Well,
wants to
yeah.
continue. He wants to continue the story. That's
I
all
know
it is.
that, but it's one of the things like he wants to continue his story, then write a goddamn book about it. Because I don't want to watch your stupid love affair with a character because it's just bad.
He's kind of like writing a love letter to yourself.
Yeah, and I don't like that. That's one of the reasons why I'm not a fan of this movie is just that it's just something he wanted to do. It's not
Well,
something.
it wasn't just him. The director wanted to do it too. The
Well,
director,
the director
who's
should
been
have
the
stopped and not did it because it just
director of the other two movies, who also wrote the other two movies,
Yeah.
really wanted to do it too. And there's one of my favorite things I heard about this movie was when they were first making it. What was it, like 2 years ago? The director talked about this. Universal offered him double the money to make it PG-13. He said, "No, fuck that. I tried it and it was terrible."
Which
So he
is
talked-
weird
because
there's not a lot in this movie that really makes the R rating. There's some nudity,
Mhm.
and
a
there's
lot of F-bombs.
there's some F bombs, which is probably I guess the reason why it did. And there is
Yeah,
a lot of gore.
Some
there's
not a lot of
suggestivity and
gore.
gore.
Not a lot of
there's
gore.
one scene of like real graphic gore, and that probably should have been removed from the movie anyway, but for the
'Cause it
fact
was
of being stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, it was hilarious.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it
Yeah.
was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't, man. It was not hilarious at all.
I assume you're talking
My
about
entire
the dude
theater
at the
fucking
window.
laughed.
Shh.
Without spoilers, is that the dude at the window?
No,
No.
it was the box.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
I don't know if we want to get into spoilers at this point. Grades
Yeah,
first.
okay. I don't know. Do we? The act let's just do the quick thing. I found the acting subpar.
It's Vin Diesel is Riddick, obviously, and he's fine. I mean, Vin Diesel's Vin Diesel. He kind of has
he plays
one tone.
himself. He
Well,
plays himself.
he has one tone, which is
Yeah.
Santana was an annoying little shit.
Yeah.
He was the character who I point to, and I'm like, this is why it's a sci-fi channel movie, because this character is so silly and over the top that it's so hard to believe a person like that could exist in real life that you have to kind of almost feel like the movie is self-aware in creating that kind of character.
Exactly, it is.
Yeah.
We have Dave Bautista.
Yes,
Also
this
in this movie?
Diaz
Yeah.
is second.
He was actually very good in what he from the little bits he had. A
I don't
lot of little comic moments I liked.
I thought watching the trailer, I'm like, okay, I support Batista being in movies if he's the big silent guy who has very little lines. So up till he got his until his one of his later scenes, I thought he was fine, and then he just started talking too much, and I'm like, done. Yeah, this movie ruined it for him.
See, I don't mind that because, like you say, otherwise every single wrestler that comes into movies is going to be the big, dumb, silent type. It's nice to see something a bit different.
If you don't have the charisma like The Rock
I'm guessing
does...
you can blame The Rock for that, but you know.
Yeah, if you don't have the charisma that The Rock does, I do not want to hear you speak.
I didn't actually have a problem with Batista in this movie, really.
I mean,
I
he
mean,
did a decent job.
as a wrestler, he was always pretty boring. He was god awful on the mic, but I think this kind of captures what you need from Batista in kind of short little lines. You don't give him a crazy lot of complexity to his character. You kind of keep him as the tough guy.
Yeah.
And they did that for the most of it. All of his kind of
Until his later
one-liners.
scenes. That's the later scenes.
His later scenes are a little bit rougher because they make him have to act outside of just talking.
Yeah.
But
that's where he falls apart for me.
But I found the rest of him I found him one of the better actors in the movie based on him kind of nailing
well,
his
because he
part.
doesn't have to show emotion.
Yeah, well, I mean that's a pretty big thing when the rest of the cast is overacting or just being a little bit silly.
I didn't have a problem with Boss Johns, the guy.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
Matt Nable.
Yeah, I liked him.
I didn't have a problem with him at all.
By the way, I should note, if you have not seen the first Pitch Black, his entire character will make no sense to you.
Yeah.
And most of the beginning won't make sense either if you haven't seen Riddick.
Yeah,
Right.
I just sat there.
Well,
yeah,
they explain the way the Riddick thing Chronicles of Riddick pretty easily.
They do a little bit, but it's kind of like, why is he leading these people?
I think more importantly I was like, why does he have purple vision? What is that?
Yeah, they never explain the eye shine in this at all.
They only explain it in the game.
Well, how he gets it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he somewhat says something about it in Pitch Black.
Pitch
Yeah,
Black,
he
explains
says-
what it is, but he doesn't explain why it is.
Well,
Well,
what
that
happens
he
in
got
Pitch
it
Black?
in prison.
In Pitch Black, he says he got it in prison, and it was an eye shine job. And in Chronicles, you realize that it was part of it was given to him by somebody in particular. They actually go into depth in the movie. In the game, you see it happen.
Yeah. Basically, Chris, what it is, for if you don't know, Riddick's had his eyes surgically modified so that they're super reflective so that he can see in the dark. Hence why this most of his taglines are you afraid of the dark, all that sort of stuff. It means that's why he's meant to be wearing the goggles, which is because he can't see in normal daylight because it just burns his eyes.
Which was weird for me, because like if you watch Pitch Black, when he's in daylight, it's crippling to him.
Yeah, that's one thing I
But
didn't notice in this
movie,
one.
he's fine.
Yeah.
Well, from what kind of happened to him in Chronicles, it started that way. Then towards the end, he kind of got quote unquote used to it.
Nah, I don't think so.
I did notice he almost never wore the goggles in this one.
Yeah.
He wore for a majority of it, but it looked like they changed from seeing in the dark vision to seeing better vision.
Yeah.
Continuity, guys.
But yeah, the only other thing is you won't really understand Boss Johns' character just because it's so intrinsically tied to a character from the first Pitch Black movie.
Mm-hmm.
Which they do actually reference quite well in this one.
Yeah,
They
my
do even-
sister.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go on.
No, my sister is a huge fan of the Pitch Black movies, and she said they got that really well in showing who this guy was in relation to the character from the first one. Although she did say the age doesn't really match up very well.
Yeah, the original Johns in the first movie wasn't that much younger than Boss Johns is now.
Yeah. And they even said that was 10 years ago, so it's really kind of, I don't know, I guess in the future, alien worlds, maybe people age less
Plastic
prominently.
surgery is really good in the future.
Exactly. You got a lot of Botox and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as box office earnings go, keep saying domestic only. This thing is sitting at $18 million out of its $38 million budget week one.
See,
Is
for a
it
sci-fi movie, that is a dirt cheap movie.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
I was actually surprised it cost that little. And
But then again, it opened up against nothing.
and it's also, but the other thing too, it's an R-rated science fiction movie. They don't tend to do that well, like period. So it's actually surprising. It's
Starship
actually already
Troopers being
doing
the
that
only one
much.
that pops to my mind. Well, Starship Troopers, Event Horizon,
They don't tend to do that
Doom.
well. Pitch Black.
Pitch Black. Yeah, Pitch Black itself didn't do very well.
Nope.
No.
Pitch Black only became a cult hit until when it was on VHS.
On VHS.
Yep. That's when I first watched it.
feel old.
I actually saw it in the theater.
I still have my Pitch Black VHS too.
It was
Nice.
a birthday screening for me, seeing that with all my friends.
But
Actually
yeah,
pretty
it's not doing terrible. It's not doing great. But then again, it as far as the week goes, it wasn't up against anything.
Yeah.
So it was probably, destined to do a little bit better because of that.
What's it doing?
I mean, hell,
international?
my theater was pretty open. There wasn't many people in it, but there was a woman with 2 8-year-olds in this movie.
Yeah,
And
that's a poor
I
choice.
wanted to be that guy that was just like, you probably don't want your kids here for this movie, but I didn't do it. I'm turning into that guy. The older I get, I'm slowly becoming that guy.
Yeah.
How is it doing internationally?
I don't know. I
You
can't.
don't have
find it.
international numbers yet.
Yeah.
Damn it.
But
My IMAX midnight was actually pretty packed.
Yeah, but even my movie was packed, and
Yeah.
well, I'm in a
For the-
smaller town than all of you.
yeah, but I mean,
Mine's
I've told-
32 max, I think.
I think I've noted here before that outside of Man of Steel, pretty much every movie I've gone to, which has been an opening weekend movie, has been at most maybe a couple dozen. This movie probably had about 50 or 60 people in the theater, so this is actually a lot more crowded than most movies I've seen.
I
Yeah,
probably had
Sorry.
15 at most in mine.
I probably had 80 plus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was in the biggest screen in my cinema.
Yeah.
It was about half full. Yeah.
Oh, I wanted to see this for Chris. Okay, theater count change. They removed it. They removed Immortal City of Bone thingies from 33 theaters. So apparently one of them was yours.
Yeah, I was gonna try to see Mortal Instrument City of Bones this week since I couldn't see it last week, but they already removed it from my theater.
The fates are out to save you, Chris. Seriously.
It's
No, they're
gone
not gonna
from-
save me forever. I'm gonna have to see it one way or the other.
Oh my God! It made a profit.
Did it?
Yeah, week 3. It's 21 million.
Of
It's $20
course
million
it
budget.
fucking did it. What did it cost them? Like $30 to make it?
So you're saying the visuals aren't all great?
No.
Okay. What was it when I was watching and I looked at and I saw the trailer for Ender's Game and I went, so that's where the special effects budget from Twilight went.
Still haven't. I don't think we're. I'm not even sure when we're supposed to be getting Ender's Game. Haven't seen a single trailer for it yet.
I
But,
just think it's
anybody
hilarious.
see any
that-
trailers that looked interesting for this movie before we get into actual?
There was
yeah.
one, but
Cop.
I don't remember what it
What'd you
was.
say, Chris?
We have to go grades too, by the way.
Oh yeah, grades. I got RoboCop. I'm not excited to see RoboCop, but I'm gonna see it.
It looks so bad.
I got the trailer. I got the trailer for Rush, which, like I said, I've seen that a few times now.
I just saw it on TV watching the Packers game.
I got Riddick or not Riddick. That'd be weird. I
That's weird.
got RoboCop, but the one I got that terrified me is I got 47 Ronin again.
So did I.
And I had seen it once, and we've already decided that's going to be the movie we watch on Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was like, God, it looks so awful. And like it just becomes a joke. Like, yeah, we had to watch 47 Ronin on Christmas. I forgot actually how bad it was until I saw the trailer again. I was just like, oh my God, this looks awful. Oh, it really does look just.
It looks like it doesn't know
God.
what it wants to be.
It has no clue what it wants to be. The visuals look stupid.
Yeah.
The first half of the movie looks like it's going to be Keanu Reeves getting beaten with by sticks for like half an hour.
As I said, to Chris, it's Keanu Reeves as Jesus, as Asian Jesus.
It's oh God.
I'm
it
more
looks
excited
really
for the movie that he's directing, actually. He's directing a martial arts film.
bad. That could be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I
Yeah,
got Gravity again, but a new trailer for Gravity, and I think I don't know how well it'll do, but I know Chris, you don't believe it, but I think Gravity could be terrifying.
IMAX 3D, I'm going to shit my pants in that movie.
I think it could be just brutally terrifying for people. I know a friend of mine will not go see that movie because of that the whole feeling alone thing, and drifting through space by yourself and shit like that. I don't know, that could be fucking terrifying as a movie.
Mm-hmm. It's like anti-claustrophobia.
Yeah, it's claustrophobic, but yet you're in space. There's nothing around you, but you feel like everything's around you in a way. So
yeah, we got the way back. And what's that? There's a horror film that's coming out soon. Part 2.
Insidious Part 2.
Yeah,
That's the one. Yeah, we got that.
hey, our cinema. Local cinema is actually doing that thing too. The
Yeah.
Choose is.
We're doing that, so I'm pretty excited to do that.
Do they have
It's
like
gonna
the
be
pulse reader things?
No, it's you get a lanyard. And I'm like, neat.
I don't know what ours is doing, but I know we are doing part 1 and part 2.
I like doing that kind of stuff. It's always fun to do a double feature in the theaters.
I may or may not do it because it's double feature.
We were hoping to be able to do the World's End one and get a T-shirt, but frowny face.
Oh.
But yeah. All right. Let's hit some grades here. I'll do mine last. Chris, go ahead, do yours.
This was not. I don't think this was like an offensively bad movie by any stretch of the imagination. I did not know what to expect going into this, and clearly didn't get even what I vaguely thought it was going to be. It really just felt. I didn't expect it to be this silly of a movie, which is, I guess, my only thing. It's not bad because of that, but it's definitely not something that I was like highly entertained by. When I like a silly movie, it has to be even worse than this one is. It needs to be Sharktopus. It needs to be even sillier than this for me to be able to enjoy all the other stuff that's a little too on the nose. So I'd give us like a C. I think it's fine. I think there are certain people out there. I think if you like the other Pitch Black movies, my sister loved the first Pitch Black movie. I think she said she was okay with Chronicles. She loved this one. So I think there are people out there who are going to enjoy the first two, who are going to like them. But if you're going in expecting a very serious or scary kind of movie, understand you have a lot of waiting to get through to get to the end where actual shit happens, and understand that it's going to be there's going to be some very goofy moments in the movie.
A lot of goofy moments.
I really liked it.
You didn't give a grade, Chris.
Yeah, you did.
C.
See?
You did.
No, I didn't.
You said C.
I didn't hear C.
I guess since I have to give it a grade, I'd give it a B plus.
You
I'd
don't
say
have to give it a
if,
grade. You can give it whatever kind of grading scale you want to give it.
well, mine is see the movie. If you are unsure, wait for rental. It'll be probably a pretty solid rental when it hits like Redbox or something. But I really enjoyed it. I like the other movies quite a bit, and this was just fun. I wasn't expecting this kind of tone until I saw the giant fucking Riddick in the embossed name, and I went, oh, so it's a mid-90s action movie. Got it.
Gavin?
As silly as it sounds, yeah. I mean, the one of the best films you could actually run this alongside by to compare to would be something like Total Recall, the original.
Yeah.
It's a big silly sci-fi movie. I don't want to I'm not comparing these movies in any way or saying this is anywhere as good, but this is to Pitch Black what Evil Dead 2 was to Evil Dead original. It's a silly remake.
Okay.
Kind of. So if you don't expect something overly serious, but you just like a big goofy action movie, then go for it. I'll give it a solid B.
All right. If you like Pitch Black and you want all of the awesomeness taken out of it, watch this movie. If you are a hardcore Chronicles of Riddick, Pitch Black fan, I can't see. I think you're a traitor if you like this movie. Honestly,
Henry's just so vicious for everything.
I
know.
can't get this movie. It's just so stupid. D-.
They're all pretty dumb as hell movies.
No, the first Pitch Black is amazing.
It's still pretty dumb as hell.
No,
I love the
it's
movie, and it's
amazing.
dumb as hell.
It is amazing.
Okay.
Pitch Black is an amazing movie. They got the horror right. They get the monsters right. They get the tension right. They play Riddick right. Where he's
Like when he's sitting on top of the ship under an umbrella, having a drink and waving at people.
mhm.
Yeah, that's not silly at all.
Nope.
But they don't fucking play him stupid.
He's
Lot
not
in that movie.
That's stupid in this movie.
Yeah, he is.
We'll get
His
into
plan
it.
doesn't make a lot of sense.
Oh
but
yeah.
we can get
Okay,
into
let's
that.
get into spoilers because I want to talk about his fucking plan.
Yeah.
Because this thing is asinine. Alright, if you don't want spoilers for this shitty movie, please turn off the stream now, because we are just going to rip this thing apart.
I'm gonna cuddle
Act
it.
1.
Alright, fine. No, not Act fucking 1. We are doing the end of this movie right now. Alright, first I want to set up. There's a girl, she's a lesbian. By the way, she's a lesbian. So we're gonna sit with that for now.
It's not a girl, it's Starbuck.
I don't care. She's a lesbian. Which Riddick turned straight, apparently. Stupid! Moving
No,
on.
I wouldn't say that. It's more. They don't specifically say that she does do it.
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation that might have just been something that she says to get rid of the fucking knobhead that's coming onto her.
Yeah.
Also, that they tried to. I mean, this is going to be a bit of an insult to the original character, but they tried to write her something along the lines of Ripley, because they tried to write her as a man, and then work from that.
Well,
Hence why she beats the shit out of the dude a couple of times.
Her
I think Ripley herself has said "suck my dick" a couple of times.
Yeah.
It's that sort of thing. She's written like a man, but it comes across as false lesbianism.
Well, I'm just going off of what she said and how she's acting. They put her off that she's a lesbian because she states it herself. Whether we know this is true or not, we don't get any information on that. So I'm going strictly off of what she says.
Yeah. Well, she's like one line where she goes, "I don't fuck guys," and that entire line is basically set up for the attempted rape later on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's always charming too.
Yeah.
But all right, to his plan. Riddick's amazing plan
To
get
call
off
a
this
cab.
planet, which makes no sense, even for Riddick. All right, okay. So there's two ships. The Mercs land. First set of a first set of Mercs land, and then they take their power core out because they find out that Riddick wants the ship to leave. So they lock it away, and then another ship lands, which is John's character looking for
The good guy mercs.
Yeah, the good guy Mercs looking for Riddick to find questions. They really don't even want his bounty. So they take their power core out and put it inside this box too. All right, but every time they put the box in, they put the power core in the box. They do this shot like you're inside the box. So I'm thinking, okay, Riddick has like a way to get into the box from the back to be able to steal them. So that's what I'm thinking. If the writing's good, they're doing this.
Yeah, this is the only. I will say this is one of the few parts of the movie I had a real problem with. I almost shouted at the screen where you're going with this.
So Riddick's plan is to do this: is to get into their base, and then do nothing in it, then leave it to make them think that he tampered with the box, with the explosive lock.
He writes fair trade on the. They basically locked this cabinet with a bomb, or the claymore basically, to stop anyone getting in it. Riddick's managed to sneak in and writes nothing and writes fair trade on the outside of the cabinet, making them think that he's obviously got into it.
Yep. So he takes the guy takes the key, and we have this whole very unsuspenseful scene where he tries to open up the thing, and it opens up, and they see they have both power cores, and then for the remainder of this movie, they leave the thing unfucking locked.
Not only that, it's the scene where they go, "See, they're still there."
Yep.
And every single woman does a 180 about face and marches away from the cabinet, leaving it wide fucking open.
So, Riddick steals both of them at this point, and then takes them like a mile or 2 miles out and buries them in the sand, okay? So, we now have the power cores stolen. The idiots have no power cores to get off the ship. So they see Riddick, they go out, they have a conversation with each other, they put their weapons down, and Riddick's like, "I'll give you guys the time when the rain hits the thing, the station." So, which means, because Riddick knows what's happening with the rain, so his plan doesn't take place until after the monsters come out.
I think they're trying to play it up that Riddick is basically a strategist and that he was
this
quite
is
happy.
the dumbest strategy ever.
He was quite happy to go along with the plan as was, but he had a backup plan if they stalled and delayed, which to be fair was the more likely outcome that they were going to do, because they're not just going to take his word for it. They were likely to stall and wait for it. So this is the exact same thing they pulled in Chronicles. As much as you might say that this is a dumber film, the whole part with what's it called, the prison planet on this,
the prison planet, yeah.
The whole thing about the necromongers showing up,
yeah.
the whole thing about he knew that the bounty hunters were going to argue with the jailers. He knew this was going to happen. He just waited for his time to escape.
Yeah,
But
I know.
basically play it up that Riddick is an ultimate strategist and he can just play people.
Yeah, but this strategy is dumb as shit.
It is. I like the little piece as well where Batista's character sees that bit on the door and he's like, leave one ship and go. Dumb fuck. Can't even count like we've got a spare ship lying around. The second Mercs arrive and he's like, he just shows him looking back at the door. He's showing that Riddick is literally like 5 steps ahead of everyone.
Well, no, it's because he's been to this movie 3 times. He knows what's going to happen. So, okay, so he buries these things in the stand. The Mercs don't give a decision until after the rain is hit because, we capture Riddick because they have, horse tranquilizer dart things.
Yeah.
So,
You kind of skipped a big thing there where
Don't
he was
care.
trying to leave.
yes, he was, but it doesn't matter. Because
What?
this
How do you
is-
mean it doesn't matter?
It
They
doesn't
forced his
matter.
hand.
No,
Yeah,
they don't, because he still gives them the option of making a decision by the time the rain hits. It doesn't matter if he's
He doesn't come
captured
to until
or
the
not.
rain is pretty much hitting.
They hit him with enough horse tranquilizer to knock him out for a week.
Oh, I'm surprised. I'm surprised Vin Diesel even let that scene even go in there with how much he fucking jisms all over this character. But
Well, to be
No,
fair, they
that-
did hit him with four rounds of horse tranks, and he's only out for about 6 hours.
Yeah, long enough for the rain to start hitting and like.
Yeah.
well, the thing is that they wait
10
for him
minutes.
to wait for him to wake up. I know.
Because
I know,
Johns is
hold
waiting
on,
for
I'm
it to-
getting there. You shit.
Well, you're nitpicking things that
I
that
know
actually
they're
have
waiting
explanations
for
in the
him
movie.
for what's his name, but they didn't have to wait for him on the planet to wake up. They could have got their shit and left.
No, the
They
thing
didn't
is,
get the batteries back.
they didn't know where the batteries were. B, they didn't know what the rains meant. And C, they were still trying to argue over who got the bounty. Well,
No,
they weren't. But
no,
Johns,
because
Johns-
by this point they already knew what they were doing.
yeah, but Johns needed him to be awake to get the answers before he handed him over to the bounty hunters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they made that up in the first scene that they came together with,
Yeah.
that they came into. But the thing that's dumb for his plan is that, there's no way. I don't care how OP they make Riddick, that he would be able to go all the way out there, get those things, and then come back with the monsters being there. Because we see that Riddick can't handle himself alone with these monsters. Because he gets separated with John's character, and he gets jabbed in the side, and becomes pretty much immobile for the latter part of
Well, that's the thing. When he's hiding when he takes them, they're not there. The monsters are all buried.
no.
They don't emerge until the rain hits.
Yeah, that's why I think his plan is stupid.
It doesn't mean that he's going to wait until exactly the rain is hitting.
Yeah, but he's giving them two when the rain hits.
He's putting a threat in front of them though by doing that.
Pretty
He's
much.
trying.
But
He's trying
they
to.
don't
he's
know
trying
the
to.
threat. They don't know that
They
you
don't
can't
know
threaten
the
them with
threat,
something
but he's
they
also
don't know.
not giving them all the information. He's
Yeah.
trying to keep the power on his side by saying something bad's going to happen when the rain comes. You're not going to want to be on this planet, so you got to believe me. That's his sort of mystique.
But the thing is,
well, no. Here's the thing: is that's Riddick's whole character.
I know
though,
it is.
What I've seen in this movie is that he tries to be the superior in everything he handles. So by giving them just enough information to know that danger is coming, but not enough details to know what's coming and how to handle it, he still creates himself as the victor in this deal. He's
I
the
don't
one
think so.
with all the power in that moment.
I don't think so. If you would have told, because these are dumb mercs, they're not going to fucking understand it. He's never been up against a smart merc. You think you might want to give him a little bit more information than, rain's bad when it comes to these alien things? Because I think if you just say, hey, there's a bunch of demon alien things that are going to come out when the rain hits, and you guys are going to be fucked down here along with myself, would make more of an impact and maybe force their hand quicker than saying rain's bad.
Yeah,
It
but
would,
then
but it's not as
look at what's happened though. They've done the dirty on him and he's been captured. If they'd have had him and all the information, he'd have had no bargaining tool.
No, the
Then
bargaining tool was the
Of course.
The power course.
The power course, because they couldn't kill him because they don't know where he's at. So they would still have that bargaining chip. He still would have had that chip. So everything would have been fine. It's the alien part of his plan that is stupid. That he buries him so far away, gives him enough time, or gives him time enough to basically be under the rain by the time they make a decision. That's
But again,
the dumb
that
part.
that wasn't his fault. That was them tranking him out for 12 hours, whatever it was.
Well, then he's an idiot for making a one-on-one conversation with guys that have, because he
Yeah.
he had his dog, so it wasn't quite one-on-one. But we saw how that ended up. That dog.
I
was-
cared more for that dog than half the characters in this movie.
Well, they forced that carrying on it so
Yeah.
hard. They
Eat Scooby-Doo without the voice.
the minute you see that dog as a pup, you know that thing is gonna have a bad ending.
Well, the thing,
It's a dog in a movie. No shit, it is.
the thing that's very strange about the dog in this movie is that they kill it off, but they don't do it in the expected way. Because there's a point in the movie where they shoot the dog with a tracer, and they open up like an iPad to track it. And on the screen with the iPad, there is a like a marker clearly labeled detonate. And I expected at some point they were just going to open up that iPad and push that button and detonate his dog, and that was going to be a way to like piss off Riddick.
What they hit him with was just a barium round. Basically, it's just a splatter of radioactive goo. So they can.
Then why
track
is
it.
there a detonate button?
It's
on
probably
it?
for the explosive round. What were they laid it out 3 other rounds, and one of them was like a grenade-y thing,
Yeah.
and I
Yeah.
think it was for those.
It just seems weird that you put that in there if it's never gonna. It's like Chekhov's gun that never fires, basically.
Yeah.
Well, technically, that is almost Chekhov's gun.
Yeah, but yeah, the dog's a little bit forced, but my sister loved the dog to death, and people are going to like the dog.
Plus, it had
It's
one
very
big
simple.
blue eye that just stared at you.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
I don't like
that-
its death. Giving that piece of shit the dog kill.
Yeah, it was
It's
like,
not
To me,
like
was just
we
stupid.
didn't need another reason to not like this guy. He's already killed a woman in the first 10 minutes of him being on screen. He's
Yeah.
killed a dog, and he also attempts to rape doll. So
They need to do it because Riddick needed a reason to kill him.
No,
yeah, as brutally as he did. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think he had the reason. Well, then again, I don't know if he knows that's the guy who killed the girl.
I don't think he gives a fuck. I really don't. I don't know if Riddick gave a fuck that that girl died because he didn't do anything to save her or to kill her to make the death easier. Like he just kind of
in
watches
Pitch
her.
Black, because this is a sequel, like a secondary sequel to Pitch Black.
Women die around him.
Yeah, they do, but he still has a little bit of nurture in him a little bit as far as like the kid goes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because he gets buddy with the kid.
Yeah.
So, I know he has air quotes a soul. So I don't know if we can eliminate it out because he watched. I think he did feel something for her because they kept flashing back and forth between their eyes, and him watching her.
Yeah.
So I think they were trying to show that they were sharing some kind of thing. for
The
that
thing they always
moment.
do with Riddick is that when it comes to his own survival, he's very ruthless.
Mhm.
He knew she was dead. There was no way he was
Yeah.
going to reveal himself
Yep, to save her.
to
'Cause
save
he
her,
couldn't save
or
her.
even
He
make
couldn't
it, or
save
even make it easier on her,
Yeah.
because it had ruined his plan.
Yep.
And when it comes to his survival, all bets are off. Riddick is a very, very nasty character. He's a murderer. He's a bad guy in all respects. He should be hunted by bounty hunters. But it's just the way we look at it that we side with him.
Yeah, he's portrayed as the protagonist, but he is.
Yeah, he's a murderer. He's an evil.
We
well,
should
not an
actually
evil
all be
man.
cheering for the mercs.
It's,
No.
it's one of those things where most of the people hunting him are just a little bit worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, especially
sci-fi
Sanchez
guy.
or whatever his name
He's your
was,
typical
Santana.
action trope. He's a bad guy, but he's got a code. He's got he's got the rules that he lives by. The only
That's why I
time,
liked John's character.
yeah,
you know,
you kind of think that if he has killed anybody, they probably deserved it.
Yeah, John's a stand-up character. I mean, even at the end, they make him a stand-up guy. Because they play off of him, having a spine, unlike his son,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
who
Who was a bastard.
yeah. Basically, at the end of the movie, Riddick's basically dead at the end of this movie. If John didn't show up.
Yeah, he's trying to fight against an army of the snake creatures, and
I will say that's one thing as well. I really enjoyed in this one. For once, it's taken 3 movies to do it. That Riddick seems vulnerable.
Yeah.
In
Riddick,
this movie,
Riddick didn't save the fucking day in the last second like in all the other fucking movies.
2 or 3 times in this movie, he seems vulnerable, and there is a point where you think, "Oh shit, they're actually going to kill him off." Oh, well, no.
No,
Never mind.
fuck no. Vin Diesel wrote this. Of course
Vin
he's not
Diesel-
dying.
Vin Diesel's like, I've got 3 more movies in mind. No, I'm not gonna do them.
I wonder how many other are gonna have him not on fucking Furia. This is like the 3rd fucking time in a row where they mentioned, "Hey, I want to go to Furia." They
That
go to
is the
Furia.
thing.
It's a lost planet though.
Yeah.
That is the thing, is that this movie has a lot of really weird lines in it. There's a moment where he's like,
I do love
they
that.
told me they were taking me to Furia. Where they actually took me to was
Was
not
not
Furia.
Furia.
Yeah.
It's like,
It-
what?
you know, honestly, it
This
reminds
rock
me-
called Not Furia.
There are some days that are bad, but then there are the legendary bad days. This was gonna be one of those days. It's just
Shaping
like,
up to be the latter.
Yeah.
what
You can tell Vin Diesel's
Honestly-
written half of these lines.
Honestly, this movie reminds me of an 80s comic book.
It is. It's an 80s action movie. That's all straight out of the book, you know.
I think actually, if I look at it in that perspective more, I think I could probably enjoy it a lot more. It was going into it expecting something that was a bit more serious, because I always knew Pitch Black was like a quasi horror movie almost. So that's why it was a bit strange with all those lines. But I think if you go into it expecting for it to be cheesy, it's probably a lot easier to like jump into it.
You could quite easily sit this alongside
That's-
like half of Schwarzenegger's back
Well,
catalogue.
But that's why I think it's a bad movie for this trilogy. Is because you're expecting it to stay along that line, but you get something completely different. That's
Well, I
ripping
think-
off the first one.
I think
That's
they're
why I
trying
think
to
it's
find the tone that's actually going to allow them to have a series, because Pitch Black didn't make them a ton of money. Chronicles
Pitch
of
Black
Riddick
was like
was
15 years ago.
well,
I guarantee if they remade that movie, in a sense,
it would probably flop because
No,
we
I
get
wouldn't
those.
so.
There's only so many times you can do things that have to be in the dark.
Because-
There's also only so many times you can do a movie that's a horror movie. I mean, we've seen that, your paranormal activities and things like that can have, prolonged success, but the plots generally get thinner and thinner.
Well,
For a movie
no,
that
but
also has
when
to
it
add
comes
an
to horror
action
movies-
element to it, it's going to be difficult in that
Best
regard. I
ex-
think they're trying to move away from having that horror aspect in there and trying to move it more to like an action with a little, not comedy per
Dark
se,
humor.
but a little bit of,
Yeah.
yeah.
Best example you've got is like the what they did to the Resident Evil games. They started out pure survival horror, and by the end of it, they're
Yeah,
just
but
action.
that's the downfall of Resident Evil in my eyes.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
But-
a lot of people will agree with you on that, but at the same time, it also makes some money. So, I mean, what can you do?
Well, the thing is that I think there aren't many people that want intelligent horror movies. That's
I
why
do.
we keep. Well, that's why I said there's not many. So come here, calm your tits. No, but not many people want intelligent horror movies. Because that's why we keep getting the same horror movie over and over again, which is the 5 people against one weird thing that kills everybody. That's why Saw is amazing. That's why the Pitch Black or not Pitch Black, not Pacific. God damn it,
Paranormal Activity.
are doing
Yeah.
well. That's why Final Destination, all the fucking horror remakes. That's why we keep getting these. People don't want. Most people don't want an intelligent horror movie.
And then we get stuff like The Conjuring, which is a fairly intelligent horror movie and does fucking bank.
Yes,
Yeah.
but you cannot do the success of a franchise on one movie alone.
Well, the difference is when it comes to horror is there has to be a somewhat of a franchisability to it. And the problem
I would argue that Saw is actually a very intelligent horror movie.
No, I don't think so.
the first one, I could kind of see that. Maybe the
Yeah, I
first
can
three.
see with the first one.
Yeah.
Maybe the first 3 in total, but once Jigsaw's dead, it kind of goes off the rails.
Yeah.
But it's when it comes to that, since they made one movie that barely made them any money, a second movie which fucking bombed. Chronicles, I think, bombed hardcore.
It did.
So then it took them 9 fucking years to make another one because actually it may have taken them
Vin
longer.
Diesel's literally been begging them to let him make this.
Yeah.
It's taken him not wanting to do Fast and the Furious
Yeah,
for them
So-
to cut a deal.
and you know what? This might end up being the tone that they go with. Now that they may have found a tone that people are actually going to fucking watch.
Yeah, I mean, if this is what they can do to sell the movie in the future, and if they can market that, I think a little bit better. I think what they tried to do this time is they tried to market it a bit more like this was going to be another Pitch Black movie.
Well, they marketed it more as a more serious film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my gripe here. Is that I didn't get what I thought. If I would have known going in, my tone now might have been different. I still wouldn't like this movie because I just think I don't like the comedy bits in it. I just think this movie was stupid. But if I would have known this movie was stupid, I might not have been so abrasive at it at the end. But I don't know. I just when you tease me with Pitch Black, I want Pitch Black, you know. And I didn't get anywhere near Pitch Black.
See, I really do like it, and I mean, I hope Vin Diesel does keep the character going because I do like the character of Riddick, I really do. But he's got to be careful. He's not going to run the character into the ground and do it a disservice. Because there's only so many times you can use that character, I think, without him getting stale. Although it's already been done, I would actually love to see them. I mean, it's been done in the games, but I would love to see them do the Butcher Bay story.
Yeah, Butcher Bay is actually a really good story. Just don't fucking do Dark Athena, because that was terrible.
Yeah, the animated one. Oh.
No, Dark Athena was the video game sequel.
Oh, was it? Which was the animated?
I had the animated one, but I've never watched it.
It also has an A in it, too. I forget what it is, though.
Hold on, I can actually get it.
I don't think it's very good from what I remember.
Give me a second.
Still by the guy today on Flux.
Which is a great movie.
You can see the
animated Aeon Flux.
Oh no!
The one that came out first.
Yeah.
Was that Liquid Television?
Yeah.
All right, that was good shit back
That
then.
art
crazy
style too is
MTV
very,
shit
very
that they used to
similar.
do.
Chronicles of Riddick, Dark Furia.
Dark Fury.
Yep. Dark.
Yeah, Assault on Dark Athena takes place right after Butcher Bay, and it was in the 360 re-release of Chronicles of Riddick. And it wasn't that good. They tried to do Chronicles of Riddick, but it was on a ship. But Chronicles is a really cool story. It explores more of his and John's relationship. Shows they got the eye shine. The other stuff in it. But no, with this movie,
I got mad. I just now got mad.
What?
The Vin Diesel collection thing I have, or not Vin Diesel, but the Riddick collection I have.
Oh, you got the Blu-ray one?
Yep, has the Chronicles of Riddick cover.
You know what's even more fucking terrible at that set? The reason why I didn't buy it?
What?
It's got the Blu-ray for the first 2 movies and the animated things on a DVD. Thanks, guys.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't think they ever produced the animated on DVD. On Blu-ray even.
Yep.
Did they?
It's kind of stupid though. You make a Blu-ray fucking box set, and you have one of the 3 things in your trilogy being a DVD.
That's kind of...
Well, they only market on this box Pitch Black and Chronicles of Riddick. The only way...
Oh, so you have the second version. The original version, they called it the Riddick trilogy.
This is called the Vin Diesel Riddick Collection. And on the side it says Riddick Collection, Pitch Black, and the Chronicles of Riddick. It doesn't say any... Oh, on the back it says Pitch Black and Chronicles of Riddick, plus DVD of the Chronicles of Riddick Dark Fury.
Yeah, they now make it a special feature as opposed to one of the 3 things of it. But yeah, I remember when it originally hit and they did that, because all they did between that version and the one you're holding in your hands, it changed the box art.
Well, if they do re-release it as a full trilogy with that extra bundle in there, I may pick it up because I don't actually own any of the Pitch Black series.
I don't
when
either.
I wanted to watch Pitch Black, I didn't even use the DVD. I just fucking got my VHS out and watched it on that.
I just remember.
Still haven't rewound it.
I still remember seeing it in the theater for my birthday. That was just
See,
cool.
kids, you used to have to rewind your films to watch them again.
I remember my buddy Rob came over. This is when we first got our DVD player, and this is now when we first talk about first getting our first DVD player, we're gonna sound old to all the kids now. But when we first got our DVD player, we were like, my buddy Rob we watched some movie, and I'm like, he goes up to it, and I go, you gotta rewind that first, and he's like, what? I was like, yeah, you gotta rewind it. He's like, all right. He's looking at it. He's like, I don't see a rewind button. I'm just sitting there just chuckling inside my head. I'm like, dude, it's on there. It's right next to the play button. And for a good 5 minutes, he's just looking his damnedest for this fucking rewind button on the DVD player.
Now, then the original DVD player question: how soon after did you get the Matrix? Because everyone got the Matrix.
We didn't.
I'm surprised. Matrix was my second.
We did
Mine was X-Men, then The Matrix.
Shit, what do we get?
Pretty soon after that was T2. So I was pretty set for decent action films for a little while.
I don't remember what we got first. Because I know my first Blu-ray was Independence Day.
Mine was A-Team.
A-Team's fun, though.
It's a
It
fun
is a
movie.
very fun movie.
It's a fun movie. I liked it. I sat through... See, I can like shitty movies. Because it's a bad movie. It's bad.
Yeah, it's
but
not good. It's
but I
silly.
liked it.
I have over 200 Blu-rays.
I have over 300.
I've stopped buying in the past 6 months because I'm like, why do I keep spending all this money?
But, yeah, I can appreciate bad movies. This movie I just couldn't appreciate, though.
It is the whole tone thing, really is.
Admittedly, I did like the first part of it as well with
I did.
you know, Riddick Grills.
I couldn't, because I was just waiting for shit to happen at that point.
You were expecting the action movie, yeah.
Yeah, I was just sitting there just going, okay.
He actually showed a little bit of smarts where he obviously discovers the serpent things. He realizes they're poisonous. He captures one. He develops an immunity to the poison. It makes sense, you know.
I would like
it's
to
smart.
That's actually the one thing I forgot to mention.
That's
is that the creatures in this movie are these snake-like creatures.
Scorpion
And-
type thingies.
Yeah, and he fights one at the very beginning. He actually fights two of them. At the end of the movie, the scene that you get in the trailer is them all in the base, and like three of them get killed really quickly, and that's what kind of gives you the impression it's going to be a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
After that scene, they don't actually kill anyone else.
No.
Like
No.
the rest of the movie is them kind of going to places, and they're just around to be the constant threat. But it really, they aren't like the antagonists or anything like that in the movie. Anyone
They're-
else who dies is
That's what I
killed
noticed.
by
I spotted that a couple of times. In comparison to the creatures in Pitch Black, they are really not a threat.
No.
The thing is, though,
Because
when you
Pitch
really
Blacks, they were armored and shit like that. Like, they had the thick skulls and shit like that.
Yeah.
So,
something
like,
a
shooting
friend
them
of
really didn't do much to them. But these things were this gooey.
friend of mine pointed out, which is really interesting, is the fact that once the mercs hit, it kind of becomes Pitch Black from then on.
No, it doesn't.
And the
Yeah,
new
no,
finish
I agree. No, I know what you're going with this. Yeah.
is that Riddick is actually the monsters in the beginning of Pitch Black.
Yeah, I could see that because they're the survivors who are trying to get holed up in here, and things just keep getting progressively worse from them as Riddick starts hunting them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's even the
That's-
scene with the traps.
Yeah.
That's almost like an outright horror movie.
And that's kind of what that is. And I'm like, oh, that's a really interesting
I
way
have-
of looking at that.
I have heard it compared to a reverse horror film where we're rooting for the boogeyman. You know, we're rooting for Michael Myers and Jason and
Well,
Freddy.
everybody roots for those guys.
So you know what I mean, though. But
'Cause that's what happened to
we're
horror
rooting
movies
for.
now.
Oh, okay. Initially in those
Kicking them off the
movies,
phone.
the first couple you don't until you get to like Jason 6 when it's
No,
actually
not
kinda
Jason
awesome.
6.
Well, no, the first three you don't. There's protagonists in those movies that aren't bad. Then it's the fourth one when you have the fucking fake Jason, and the fifth. No, it was the fourth one. You have the fourth and the fifth. You have the fake Jasons in them, and the sixth one is when he comes back as a zombie, and that's when he's awesome. Sorry, I really like that movie. Jason Lives, fucking awesome.
But yeah, I mean, there's a couple of tones in this movie as well that's not the greatest, but I think they are being taken a little bit out of context. I was warned a few times about a few of the comments that have come out in this movie. A couple of the things that are brought up. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. They weren't that bad. They were throwaway lines at best. Some were needless. Yeah, there's a scene with Starbuck taking a shower. You know, it looks like he's going to reach for her, but no, he's after a compact for some reason. He needed a mirror. Why he couldn't use his knife, I don't know, but you know.
Like he's done before.
Yeah.
He needed more titties in this movie. They were front-loaded with titties.
there's
so he needed
random
mid-movie
tits.
titties.
Yeah,
The
the most tits are in the beginning.
There's that
Where
one
apparently
little-
space silicone is a big thing.
Yeah. there's one.
Dead
There's
space
one random
silicone.
comment between the two. It's like they're just having this random chat about what's going on, what's going to happen, this and other. And he comments. He says because she happens to be doing her toenails at the time. Why I don't know. Why would she choose that point to just decide to do her toes? And she's like, yeah, it's Predator pink. It's like, yeah, matches your nipples. I'm like, whoa, dude, what?
Yeah, that's about how
Okay,
it
that's
goes.
that's a bit odd. But she smiles with it, so I don't know whether that's the actress's reaction or whether she's, that's part of the script. But it's more of a just banter between. Essentially, it's jock banter. One of them happens to be female for me. I don't mind that too much. I've put it this way. I've seen as many female based movies like The Hangover, not The Hangover. What's it called? The other one, Bridesmaids. Where the number of times you'll see a woman in that film go, the things I'd do to that man, or something along those lines. The dude could call that shit out for sexism too, but whatever. We don't give a shit.
I don't know. All
Anyway,
right,
rant over.
let's wrap this shit up.
I mean, I need more alcohol.
I literally, like, I had to get in a call with Chris right after this movie because I needed to vent. Like, into this movie.
Randy needs to vent a lot.
Yeah.
Every movie for like the past 3 weeks, Randy's like, I need to vent.
But it's funny, like, I messaged Chris, and apparently you were at the movie at that time. I was like, I need to stop seeing shitty movies.
Oh, there's one thing as well. If you're going into this expecting to see Carl Urban, don't.
He's in it for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Isn't Carl Urban a musician? That's Keith Urban, never mind.
Yeah, Carl Urban, the guy who played Varko, the necromonger general dude.
What the fuck is a necromonger?
It's the entire second movie.
Okay,
Yeah.
because it sounded like a really silly word at first. And I was
It
just
does.
like,
Even back when that movie came out, it was just goofy.
They're basically guys that believe in life after an underworld after death, so they are necro, and they like to kill people.
It's pretty much just this movie, but without knowing that it's being silly.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
but they try
The only-
to bring
the only
they try
really
to bring
good-
religion into the trilogy. Basically,
And they also, I love that their little dig at that in the movie too, where he's like,
Yeah.
"I've gone soft."
yeah, that one dude that's just like that little guy, the guy with the Bible. What was his role in the movie other than to bring God into it?
That's it.
He does.
I saw
nothing.
him. I saw him as you're waiting for that kid to die. and
Yeah,
he doesn't.
there was the moment where he starts freaking out when they're going towards the ship, and I was expecting that to be the moment he died.
Yeah, but
then they kill the other guy instead of him. With the moment I actually kind of like, where he mentions he's like, the small ones and the most dangerous because they don't know how much venom to use.
Yeah.
Like, I like that line since that actually kind of has a basis in real,
Yeah,
how
that's how
So
Snakes
yeah,
are.
that's one thing as well. A friend of mine was saying, I don't like the monsters; they're a bit unrealistic. I said, dude, you realise there are creatures on Earth that do that? What? That lie underground for months on end until the rains come?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, the frogs.
Well, hell, look at not locusts. Are they locusts?
Cicadas.
Cicadas and locusts, I think, both do it.
Yeah.
And then as
But yeah,
far
that-
as the
that
venom
kid-
goes, the venoms they take that right out of snakes. The
Yeah.
young ones do not know how much to how much.
Scorpions
to
are
put
the same way too.
Yep.
The venom in scorpions is much more potent the smaller they are.
Well, no, that's the breed of scorpion. The larger scorpions are the less threatening ones. Also, the lighter their skin, the less the.
You would know
Venomous.
more about scorpions than I would.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kid just bugged me. He didn't do anything. He didn't contribute. He didn't die. He was literally there just.
I was
to
waiting
got
for him to
into it
die.
and give Riddick one line. A lot, it was a
Don't
trailer
bring
line.
God
They didn't
into
put
this
in.
kid.
He didn't want nothing to do with what's going to happen.
He doesn't want
God
anything
doesn't.
to
Yeah,
do with
God
what's
doesn't want
happening
anything
next.
to do with this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, that threw me for a loop that kid lived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, I expected it. Actually, once they calmed down that scene of him like freaking out, I realized I kind of figured he would be the one to live because he was the only moral person on the planet.
Mhm.
Like, I guess John's there, but he was the kid who was just there because
He's the innocent kid.
Well, they didn't explain why he was with. Like, they explained why Santana keeps him there. He refers to him as his good luck charm.
Mm-hmm.
But I never really understood, like, is that, like, Santana's cousin? Or, like, are they related at all? Did he force the kid along? Like, why is the kid with the mercenaries if he doesn't like the fact the mercenary rapes and kills everyone he meets? Yeah, that sort of thing. But
One thing, the one little trope that they did avoid. Not once during the entire film did anyone come out with, well, my cut's just gone up.
Yeah.
They actually worked it that even the mercenaries in their own little gangs, obviously between each other they don't give a shit, but in their own little gangs they actually were,
except for Batista.
Except
At
for
the very
Batista.
end,
Batista's a dick.
he shows that he was going to try to. That's the other thing I didn't get is while they're like all three of them are jet biking to find the nodes at the end of the movie. John's Riddick and
Oh my god,
Batista.
those bikes too.
And
Jeez.
Batista, and they're coming up to an edge, and Batista like pushes John, and John flies off the cliff, injured himself. But Riddick goes down, picks him up, makes him ride bitch all the way back up. And after all that happens, Johns isn't still like, I think that guy might have been trying to kill me. Like,
I think
he pushed me off that cliff, and I feel like he didn't need to.
Yeah, I think they did it. But if you watch the scene, they've got it that both characters are literally just riding side by side. There's no if this sort of film, if it was a deliberate attempt on his life, they'd have done something where you see Batista go all of a sudden go twirly mustache, stare at him, and swerve right into him.
Yeah.
This was meant to be just an RTA that happened.
Speaking of that scene, guys, I don't know if you guys got this or not, but was that probably one of the worst green screening you've seen when they're riding that bike?
Yeah,
Those
I
bikes?
actually forgot to mention that the green screen with the riding the bikes was not great.
It was horrible.
Mm.
Yeah.
I just thought they didn't have the budget to do it well.
Well, yeah, a lot of the creatures stood out as well. The dogs specifically did stand out.
The
as
dog
well.
never interacted with anything.
I did like a couple of little moments where it's like with the ration packs.
Oh, that yeah.
It's like the dog won't eat it. There's like, okay, bring me my spare.
That was
Drag-
stupid for me.
drags
Cheese
over
on
the
it.
big. Yeah, drags
Yeah,
over the big carcass thing. Is like, okay, where's yours? And dog's like, "Urgh."
the peeing on the thing though, like it's the same thing. Like as soon as I saw it, I was like, if anyone doesn't have a problem with this, but had a problem with what's his name in Transformers peeing on what's his name, Bumblebee peeing on that one dude, I was like, then I don't understand what the difference between the two scenes is.
They're
The problem
dumb.
is
They're
with
both stupid.
The problem is with Transformers, that character is established. Bumblebee has an established character. Pissing on people is not part of his character.
Stop, and also the line afterwards just makes it even worse.
Yeah.
Bumblebee, stop lubricating on that man. I think that just infinitely makes it worse.
I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was dumb fun. It was cheesy as hell, all hell, but
It knew what it was trying to do.
I'll be buying the DVD. I'll be watching it again, and I'll be enjoying it. So
I won't. I can't. I'm waiting for this summer for a movie to come along that I'm going to buy and watch again. I will buy. I think there was one, Chris, that we said.
World War Z.
World War Z. I will watch again.
I'm gonna watch Kick-Ass 2 again, but
yeah,
I will buy like the Superman movie. I will buy the X-Men movie. I will buy Two Guns. I will buy.
Wait, you said you're gonna buy Man of Steel?
Yep. I'm going to buy World War Z.
I think you made a mistake. You made a mistake on that. You hated Man of Steel.
I do, but
I'm gonna wait.
I
Steel. I'm gonna wait until the obligatory Justice League box set comes out.
I own every superhero movie that's come out since '99, or whenever they started doing these movies. I'm gonna vote. I own the other Superman movie, Superman Returns, not because it's awesome, but because I need it to have it. And I know it's not that I won't watch it. I know other people will that are here, and other
Have
people.
you seen The Specialist?
No, I don't think so.
Oh dear.
But there's a bunch of movies that I will buy that are coming out this time. But there's only one movie out of all those DVDs that I'll buy that I will watch again, and that one's obviously World War Z.
Yeah, I haven't got around to seeing that one yet. I'm gonna have to wait for the DVD.
It's damn good.
I got put off by the trailers because I just saw Wall of Zombies. It's like, another zombie movie. Okay, whatever.
I was just looking at the Blu-ray set that I use for my news and whatnot, and they had their review for Riddick up, and the last picture that they have is one of those 30 fucking seconds of Carl Urban in the movie. Made me laugh. So, look, there he is in the movie. Oh, he's gone.
The fact that he's got second billing on IMDb as well in it, it's
He
like,
does?
yeah.
I closed it. I'm not gonna look.
Yeah, he's in the movie himself. He doesn't. He's in the ands.
Yeah, Dubin, you're right. If you're gonna go see World War Z, don't think of it of the movie. It will be
The book?
or of the book. It's so much better.
I haven't read the book. I haven't read the book.
It will be.
I have.
You will love it if you go into it not knowing about the book or separating your knowledge from the book. It's
Well, once the first act is done.
What
Because
was
those kids are annoying.
Yeah, the kids can be a bit annoying in the first act, but but it's just a fantastic movie. I like the writing for it. I wish it was R, but other than that, I liked it.
Well, you'll get that when they probably do a director's
Nope.
cut. Oh, they're not doing that?
No,
Because didn't they
Chris
cut the scenes? I thought they
No,
filmed
no.
it.
They did.
they
did
filmed
film
it. I thought they filmed it PG-13.
No,
I thought
they filmed it rated R.
Because there are moments where you can specifically tell they were clearly trying to do it. Like, there's a moment where he's trying to, like, pull an axe out of somebody's face.
Yeah,
And, like, the camera's just cut up enough that you can't see him pointing it out. You figure that there would have been a director's cut where he's like, no, here you go. You can just see it.
no, they did They did shoot this in rated R. They shot Wolverine in rated R, but they're releasing them in. They released them to theaters in PG-13, and will be released with extended cuts as rated R.
Can I mention something very quick that's really pissing me off with Blu-rays now?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
Fuck you, Paramount, and how you're doing Star Trek Into Darkness. You can eat a giant bag of dicks with
Wow.
how you're doing this. I am a collector of movies. I like having the nice big set that has all the fucking features. I don't want to have to buy fucking 8 editions
Correct.
of this movie to get all the fucking things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that the fucking commentary is an iTunes exclusive is fucking horseshit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now I'm still stuck in the realm of DVDs. I don't even have a Blu-ray yet.
I'm more of a I don't care for the commentary very much. I want the behind the scenes of how they made everything, and if that's
know-
still there, I'm fine.
All
That's
they
why I
have
like
is that
Blu-ray.
fucking EPK talking head shit with, this was an amazing movie to work with this director. Here's a clip. That kind of fucking shit.
Yeah,
And the actual
MTV
substantial ones,
MTV behind the scenes sort of shit.
the substantial ones are for fucking, you can get like a third of them at Walmart, a third of them at Best Buy, and a third of them at Target.
So like I say, at least you get extras. I'm still buying DVDs and fuck all these days.
And the reason why I started doing that is when you mentioned World War Z, I looked it up. World War Z has like 8 editions too.
Paramount,
Little
everybody.
figures.
Hey, Chris, did your guy get another touchdown yet?
He got some more points.
Okay, sweet. All right, guys. I think we're gonna call it here. Stay tuned. We'll be doing something after after this. The stream will be coming down for about maybe 5 minutes or so, and we'll see where we go from there. Thanks for watching. We'll be doing the family next week. Gavin, are you good for the family?
I do not think so. I'll let you know. I don't think that's out over here.
Okay.
Yeah, there are a lot of movies, I think, coming up for a stretch now where the movies we're going to see don't have a UK release and same.
Or have already, no, there's a couple. I think you've got Rush. It's on the list that's already out
Yeah,
here. I
because
need
we're
to see that
flipping.
soon.
We're flipping our There was the 1 week where we're going to go back a week, and we're actually going to flip the movies that we were seeing, so we can actually get Gavin in for both.
Okay.
Because one releases at different. Like if we flipped it, we get Gavin for both. If we don't, we only get him for one. So I think because no matter what, we're going to go see those movies. It's just a matter of what order we're seeing them in. Because we're
Okay.
going back a week to see the other one, so it just makes sense to just flip it. So we'll be doing that. That's the Rush and Runner.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna see Rush the day it comes out.
that's it. I got Rush and Runner as trailers, and I like the look of Runner. I didn't know what it was. Seen the trailer. I'm looking forward to that now.
Yeah, I don't understand Runner, but I'm gonna see it.
I just want to see Ben Affleck as a bad guy. It's been a while.
Yeah, he looked good.
It's been a while.
No.
So we're flipping those two around. So Runner will be first, or Rush will be first because he gets Runner the next week or something like that. So
Yeah, I've already got Rush, but Runner's not for a couple of weeks.
Yep. So all right, guys, tune in for the family next week. De Niro should be good. God, I hope it is. I need a good movie.
Am I also going to be talking about Insidious?
You can. I may or may not be able to make it for Insidious. So if you want to talk about Insidious, go ahead.
Yeah.
Just let you know, his opinion is always biased as fuck. No, I'm kidding.
I'm just unless a movie incredibly pisses me off, I'm usually pretty easy on movies. Unless the name of the movie's Man of Steel, and I fucking hated that movie.
If movies bore me, I can get pretty nasty like this one did.
Oh, I can get. It takes a lot to completely bore me. But we'll get into that another time.
All right. Everybody, you have a great night. We'll see you in roughly 5 minutes for something, whatever the fuck we're going to do. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Toodles.
Water.